Hi, I'm Dennis Den. I'm a figure skater from Kazakhstan. To me, I always knew I'm Korean. It was something that you just know, and you don't even ask how it happened, why. I mean, because you're raised, according to all the traditions, when you're great. I mean, on the table you always have rice, you always have kimchi, you have soup, Korean soybean paste, and so on. And I mean, something that by the time you growing up, you just become part of this family routine, and you never even think about whether are you Korean, are you Kazakh, are you Russian, or something else. I mean, every time you get home, you become Kazakh Korean, I would say. I think our traditions, they may have changed a little bit comparing to real Korea, but it's still worth a note that all the grandparents, they tried their best to keep the culture, and I think with the years go by, it is well protected. Mm-hmm. My grandma, she would tell a lot about Mingin Ho, and in Kazakhstan there is also Korean community, and every year they send out calendars with heroes of Korea, and there are many faces that are quite recognizable here and abroad, and one of them was always Mingin Ho. And I remember when my grandma first time showed me his picture, it was a painting, and she told me that it was a grandfather, so it was probably the first time I actually experienced something like this, realizing that in your family there was a hero. I've been to graveyard of my great-grandfather 3 times, and I also visited the monument that he has in Wonju, and it's incredible. I mean, every time I visit the place, firstly, of course, I feel impressed every time, like a first time. Secondly, I feel thankful, because it just, once you are there, you realize how great it is, how great his impact was on the whole country. And I'm truly thankful for the people that take care of all the things that he did, and like the graveyard is in a perfect condition, and with the monuments, with all those stands and everything, it's just remarkable. To me, I still think of her pretty much every day, and she was a big fan of Mingin Ho. She was a huge fan of me, maybe my biggest fan that I ever had in family. Not in, in family, she's the biggest fan that I ever had in my skating career. If you enter her apartment, all the newspapers about me, her walls, picture, everything connected to my skating achievements. You go outside, everyone knew me before even I started winning all the big medals. She would always worry about me, and she was pretty much, she was my biggest fan, but I think even my success was related to her. And she never missed any performance in Kazakhstan. If it was a night show, which I hosted for 3 years straight, she was in a wheelchair. No matter how she felt, she would always come, because sometimes there were no perfect conditions for disabled people to visit some kind of events, but also ice rink is very cold, she would never miss this opportunity. She passed away in October. It is sad, but I mean it's something you cannot avoid. It's life, and someday it has to happen. But I mean, with my grandma, it's just it's a story of great relationships. I mean, in a way that I remember when she struggled a lot, she would always tell, you know what, I'll never die before you become world champion. When she felt good, she would say, two-time world champion. So it was really touching. I mean, I'm happy that she witnessed most of my biggest success. It changed dramatically because when I was a kid, there was literally no conditions, and when I was doing my first steps on the ice, we did not even have real ice. I mean, actually, in fact, it was actually super real because there were no refrigerators, there was no indoor ice rink, so it was all naturally iced facility that was only available during winter times, and I was one of those many kids who enjoyed skating occasionally when it was cold enough that you could just put on your skates and skate for fun. So now of course the situation changed really hardly in the very best way. And I mean, to me, just being able to realize that you had the opportunity to not only to witness but be part of the change is something truly inspiring, and something that makes you happy. So today, like, skating is probably one of the most popular attractions. I mean, there are plenty of ice rinks that propose to people public skating on weekends, but I stayed in sport because I realized that this is what I should do right now. And from now on, I mean, I hold seminars in my country. I try to help young skaters. We send them to different training camps around the world. I am 24/7 in touch with them in case they need any help or just an advice. I'm very easygoing. I try to help not only kids but also parents or coaches. So we hold seminars, we hold master classes, we do ice shows and everything that may somehow help young skaters, that may somehow help figure skating, that will raise awareness of the sport in overall within the country. Last year, Kazakhstan was held, Kazakhstan hosted University Games, which was a huge event, and that was one of the changes that the country has suffered, in a way that before we never had skating, never had skating spectators, figure skaters. And here, University Games, and it's not the top competition in the world, was hosted as if it was Olympic Games. The competition in which I performed collected more than 36,000 spectators while I was on the ice. And Pyeongchang. Every time I think, wow, Olympic Games will be held in Korea, my home. You can call my second home, you can call my motherland. I want to experience that, and among all the reasons that I had to stay in sport, I think the Olympic Games was number one. And I have no idea whether I'm gonna skate after Pyeongchang or no. I have no idea whether I'm gonna compete again after the games. For now, all my thoughts, they all are headed towards the games in Pyeongchang, because it's truly special Olympics for me. Maybe my last one, but I don't think that far, because to me this is everything. And I will compete with the thought of Korean people, with the thought of my grandma, the thought of me in hall. I mean, it's a special Olympics, and I'll try my best to leave a mark after my performance.